Hey guys, it is Thursday night here live on Instagram, 15 minutes with M. I am super pumped to be here tonight. First and foremost, I have to say the sun is still shining on this night, and that just absolutely excites me because it just means that summer is coming and we're going to have longer days. So that is a huge plus. I am really excited for tonight. I am having a special guest. Her name is Sher Edwards. And she is a friend of mine who is such a badass entrepreneur. She is amazing, amazing person. She's amazing at what she does. She's a tattoo artist. She's a Monet rep. She is phenomenal, and I cannot wait to have her on. So she will be here any second. There she is. I'm going to bring her on, and we're going to get this party started. So here we go. I'm going to grab her, share. Get this happening. There we go.
Hey,
And here she is. Hey, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good. Oh, I'm loving the hair,
I'm
girl.
having a really good hair day.
I love it. Oh my God. It's
I
so
also
nice.
brought wine. I hope that's okay.
Oh, I didn't bring mine. Good call. Good call. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a good day. All the things got done today, so I'm feeling better.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I'm so appreciative to have you on here tonight. I really want people to hear your story and what you've been going through and how you started everything because I find it so fascinating. And, it's just, you're so amazing at what you do. So you're first and foremost a tattoo artist. Like, how did that even come about?
So that's actually a funny story because I always thought about tattooing at like all through high school and stuff like that. And then I actually shifted because I knew I wanted to do some sort of post-secondary, but I didn't know what I wanted to um, really pursue at that point. So I went to the University of Waterloo and I was there for art and psychology. And for the longest time, I thought I was going to be either a teacher or a doctor, actually. I was going to pursue
Oh,
psychology, and that kind of became my route. And then I got into the service industry,
mm,
and serving tables was just so easy, and like the money's so good. So then I got kind of roped into that lifestyle, and everything else took a back seat. So um, fast forward 5 years, and my dad actually sent me a link that a shop in Barrie was looking to take on an apprentice. And it
okay.
was something I hadn't really thought about. And I thought, okay, worst case scenario, they'll just say no, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I sent some images of my work, and I said, this is kind of what I do. I don't have any experience tattooing. Like, I hadn't even picked up a gun until my first day.
Wow.
And they said, okay, when can you get in? Like, when can you start? So I started tattooing at the shop during the day, and then I'd go to the restaurant and serve tables in the evening.
Wow. You know what? And I've worked in a restaurant too, so I know what it's like.
Yeah,
You learn so much working in a restaurant. Like you learn patience, customers, like the whole
absolutely.
dynamic. And I think I'm gonna assume that you put a lot of that stuff into your tattooing as well, right? Having that experience.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that everyone should do a stint in customer service or retail, at least,
Agree.
because you learn so much. You learn how to interact with people. And, being a bartender was one of the best things that ever happened to me for customer service, because there is an appropriate way to talk to someone.
It's true. It's
And a lot of
true.
people don't realize it. And it's helped me so much in my business because it's helped me develop these relationships with my clients that people don't associate with tattoo shops, right?
Right.
And it's the same thing with like like your business as well. Your focus is building those relationships. It's And then once you have those relationships, you have clients for life.
That's right. You do 100%. You like nailed it on the head. You always have the regular customers,
Mhm.
you have the tattoo regular customers, and you know, having one myself, a couple actually, it's like, oh, when's my next one? It becomes a little bit of an addiction
It does.
doing that, right? So I
Yeah.
totally hear from you. But that's I like how, you know, I don't people who haven't done retail or the restaurant industry or whatever, if you haven't done it, I really recommend everybody do it because you learn so much
Mhm.
about yourself and you learn so much going forward into your business, like your career, whatever. It doesn't matter what field it is, you're gonna take something that away from that to for the rest of your life. So I absolutely love that. And you juggled both. So right off the bat, you were like, okay, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm not one to just sit back and relax. And that shows up on the other thing that you do too, which is like the Monet business. And that's how we actually ended up meeting,
Yes.
was through that, right? And that beautiful community of women. And so how did you get into to the Monet stuff?
So my upline with Monet, she works at Eastside, so I served tables with her, which is how I
Oh,
met her. And I knew she had been doing it for a couple of years. And when COVID first started, when the pandemic started, everything shut down. So I basically, like, I lost my job. I went from doing, 500 things a day to doing nothing.
wow.
And so I kind of sat around for a little bit because it was nice to have a little bit of time off in the beginning.
For
And then I
sure.
got bored.
Mm-hmm.
I got bored and I thought, you know what? I just need something to keep me busy. I was already very picky about what went onto my face, into my skin, into my hair. And in an industry like tattooing, when we create so much waste,
Mm.
now they are starting to develop more like eco-friendly alternatives, but I wanted to kind of counterbalance that. And, Monet just aligned with all of that.
Yeah.
It's sustainable, it's plant-based, it's clean, it's all of those things that I value. And so I just jumped 2 feet in. I wasn't even sure, like, I wanted to really sell initially, but I was so excited about these products. And then when I started using them, I was hooked. Like, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I know exactly that transition starting off as a consumer, and then I'm like, oh my God, I've never had hair like this before, or whatever.
Right?
And it's just like, oh my God, how could you not want to share it with
Mm-hmm.
them, right? And it's the community too that is really it's to me it's like the most important thing because like
Mm-hmm.
I can reach out to you guys or anybody on the TV like, okay guys, I have this, I'm thinking of this, what do you think, whatever, and you guys are like everybody's on it like quickly and helping each
Mm-hmm.
other, and you know, what about this, or try it that way, or you know, there's this opportunity, or there's
And
this way.
it's not even like, sometimes it's not even work related, like it's not even money
Yeah,
related. It's just,
no.
I'm having a shit day. Like, give me something that, what do you do when you're having a bad day, right?
Yeah,
Okay, self-care,
100%.
music, dance it out. Those suggestions are immediate. And that sense of support and that sense of like, I have someone when I don't have anyone.
Yeah. We all push each other up to be our
Mm-hmm.
best selves, personally, professionally, everything. And it's like, you know, I send quotes to you guys, or, you know, I always send my Bitmoji, you guys laugh and stuff like that. But you know what? If I know you guys laugh, then I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm doing
It makes
something
it
for
worth it, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you fuel each other in so many different ways. And you know, I love what you said too. You were, despite everything, you were actually able to find something that really
Mm-hmm.
just made you grow and gave you another income stream, which you didn't think of. But more importantly, it was like, I love what it's doing for me, and I want to share it. You know, there's
And
a huge difference with
so
that.
many of those skills that I learned with Monet, you know, whether it's building my confidence or, learning how to properly use social media, how to properly brand myself, how to like market things, that's all transferable to my brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So I'm not only learning it for that specific business, but I'm able to take that and basically copy and paste it and make it useful for my primary stream of income.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And they're so different, like complete opposites of the spectrum, but they both have such unison of what they do and how you work it,
Mhm.
which is phenomenal. And I noticed the difference, and I'm going to say this myself, but a huge growth in the short period of time that we've known each other,
Mhm.
like your online presence and just being on it and stuff like that. And, I think that is so amazing because, like you said, you went from busy doing a million things a day, and then, no, no, sorry, you have to stop whether you like it or not. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take like a week off and two
Yeah.
weeks to like chill out. And then you're like, okay, what is happening here? And jumping into that. And it could really go two ways for people. It could go just completely down the hill and not even realize it's happening, or people would be like, I'm going to start to do something. And you
Yeah.
took that action, and I'm sure you had hard days, but you're like, no, I'm going to still continue to strive and push forward, which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, I decided, so after the pandemic started, I lost my job at the shop that I was working at. And instead of sitting around and sulking, I said, okay, my 5 year plan has just been kicked into high gear. Now
Yeah.
it's my 5 month plan. I
Huh.
opened my shop in the middle of a pandemic, and it's been open maybe 6 months in total because I keep getting shut down because I have to close the doors. And it's been so nice to have the consistency of having a secondary stream of income that I
Yes.
don't have to stress about, okay, if I have to close the doors tomorrow, how am I going to pay rent?
Right.
Or like, am I going to be able to get anything from the government to help type deal, right?
Yeah. And I think that's important message too, is that you hit every single wall since opening up your shop.
Oh, if there was a problem, I've been through it. Trust me.
Yeah, and you didn't, I mean, I'm sure there were times you're like, "Ugh, okay, enough, like I'm kind of done," and you just had your moment of like being really pissed off for 5 minutes, but then you kept on moving forward. And I think that's a huge message for people, even for the people that are working 9 to 5. Like it's there, people are here to help, people want to push each other, and people who've opened up businesses are still pushing forward and giving it their all, right? And it could even be like an MLM, it could be whatever it is. And I think that's the huge message to show to people, is that you can still have whatever it is that you want. It's like, are you able and are you willing to do it? And you did it, and you went a completely different way, and you're like, this is phenomenal,
It's
right?
incredible to watch business owners persevere right now. And like,
Exactly.
even business owners are being forced to, I say this all the time, we're being forced to adapt, which
Yes.
is something we haven't had to deal with before.
True.
But also, like, the amount of growth that everyone's doing. Like, I went
Mhm.
for a hike with my dad and my stepmom, I think a couple weeks ago. And even my dad said, like, to watch how you've changed in the past year and how much you've grown and
Wow.
like developed your own sense of self is actually pretty incredible.
Wow. Oh my God, you give me goosebumps. That's so cool. You know what? Because when you hear things from that, especially from family that you may hear it here and there, but when you actually hear it from them, you kind of do, you probably like took a step back and be like, yeah, you know what? I really did. You
Yeah.
know? Like that's such an amazing feeling that they recognize that. Oh my God,
Well,
that's
and
phenomenal.
that's those people are the people that you look to for that kind of guidance and support. So to
True.
actually hear it come out of their mouths is something like so reassuring. It
It
just like
is.
solidifies that you're doing the right thing, that they're
Yeah.
proud of you. Like, to hear my parents say they're proud of me, it just like brings me to tears every time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so, honestly, it's the sweetest thing. Because we know our family loves us. We know that. Like,
Yeah.
there's no doubt, right? But it's like you said, when you hear them actually say it, because it's not their common vocabulary,
It just
and
hits different.
it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is really sweet. I thank you,
Yeah.
and just embracing it. That's amazing. So before we end off, I want to just tell everybody this little event that you and I and Natalie are doing
Yes.
about it. Do you want to take the reins on that and share with everybody what it is?
Sure. So it is a Monate related event. I'm just going to put my wine down because I talk with my hands, so I don't want to spill it. So it's a Monate related event. It is a drop-in opportunity call for anyone who has been, maybe thinking about or is curious about Monate. There's a lot of great education based tools there. There's, lives. You're going to learn about all of our stories. We're just basically giving you the run through on the different ways to make money. There's some giveaways in there as well. So that's a really cool thing. If you are interested in joining that, just reach out to Emanuela or myself and we can drop the link for you and you can join and learn what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's really cool because it's kind of like a behind the scenes of what like you see the products, about it, but it's really behind the scenes too, because you get to know us, you get to know what we're about, why we joined it. And I think that's a really cool thing, is explaining to people why we decided to do this and want to be able to just help and spread the love of what we do and what we love, right? To me, this is a hobby. So the fact that I get to share my hobby with people and really just show them how much is done for me in such a short period of time, it's an amazing
Well, it's
thing.
interesting because we all have such different stories and different walks of life. So to have us all come together for like a common goal and a common purpose is just very unique, I think.
I agree. So before we head off for the night, what is it that you want to leave the audience with?
Oh man.
Loaded question.
That is a loaded question. I'm going to get really cheesy and say, like, you are totally capable of making your dreams happen. You just have to commit to them.
That wasn't cheesy. That was perfect. That was perfect. I love that. You are capable. I love it. It's so true. It's so, so true. Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to
Thank you for
share
having me.
all of Cher's information following this live, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, you want to get a tattoo from her, she's actually not that far. She is from Barrie, and so you can message her, get all that stuff set up with her. She's phenomenal. Her work is amazing, and I'm going to be coming to see you once we're allowed to leave our house.
I know.
I can't wait. I'm so pumped. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And until next time, have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.